Okay, so today we're going to be breaking down a few different programs here, and we basically have the, in person. If this is based in NYC. I'm going to have another one reviewing other online boot camps, but this is in person NYC cybersecurity program for beginners. To go ahead and break it down for you, we've got a few categories of programs for you to choose from if you are located physically in the NYC area and you yourself prefers to go ahead and get training in the NYC area. So I'm going to run you through all the options and kind of talk you through the pros and the cons in the very short amount of time. So we have mobile desktop. This is cybersecurity bootcamp in NYC, and a lot of these also is a hybrid solution where it's just like it's online and in person. So if you can't make it in because of the weather, it's really cold right now, by the way. We've got the Full Stack Academy right here. We've got Flatiron School, which is a boot camp. And then we've got Flatiron School again. I'm just going to go ahead and exit out of this. We have General Assembly. We've got Noble Desktop right here. We have BMCC. Okay, and I'm just going to move this. I'm going to slide at the very top. We have LaGuardia Community College has their own program. We have the John Jay College of Criminal Justice. They have their own cybersecurity program. And then we've got, the City College of New York. Okay, and then we also have, this is actually the Hofstra University. I'm going to move this over here. We have the NYU Masters of Science in Cybersecurity Risk and Strategy. We have the Fordham University Master of Science in Cybersecurity. Of course, we got the Columbia Engineering's the Cyber NYC Initiative right here, which I'm also just going to go ahead and move to the side. And then we have a few other organizations that I think people really need to be aware of is basically Cyber NYC. And then, of course, we have the New York Office of Technology and Innovation. They actually do, which is basically the NYC Cyber Academy, do some really, really cool stuff. For starters right here, you've got basically, I would say, two main buckets. And I have a whole breakdown right here where I do the whole bootcamp breakdown. I'm going to go ahead and add in everybody else so you guys can understand exactly costs. I'm going to be adding just like this one right here. I'm going to be adding over the syllabus if you guys want to go ahead and get access to it. But this is the one for Hofstra. Okay. And I'm going to have it right here. I'm going to be breaking down the cost, what their program length is, exactly which certification they're preparing you for, the structure of the program, and then basically what types of services do they offer beyond just what they have, and how does that compare with all of the other programs. But I'm going to start off by saying is that you've got about, I would say, two main buckets of courses. And on top of that, within bucket number one, you kind of have somewhat of a divergence of two different options there too. For starters, you have the academic route versus the bootcamp route if you want to go ahead and actually do a program. The academic route would be an actual university. NYU, Columbia, Fordham, City College of New York, John Jay, even the Borough of Manhattan Community College, LaGuardia Community College. All of them offer some form of cybersecurity course. And it's really designated to help people make a transition into cybersecurity for the first time. In this first bucket, and then you got the boot camps. The boot camps would be like Full Stack Academy. Notice website looks a little cooler, right? You got Flatiron School, you got General Assembly, and then you got, on top of that, you basically got some of these organizations like Cyber NYC, and then also the New York Cyber Initiative that is, I would say, kind of like city-driven initiatives to go out there and really make this a cyber hub. And I believe in the New York City Cyber Hub too. But for starters here, what I think is a little bit intimidating is with the university route, you have a lot of these master's programs. So if you're looking to transition into cybersecurity for the first time and you don't have an undergrad, what makes these programs very difficult to access for you is that Well, most of them have gone through undergrad, and you don't need to graduate from undergrad to be able to transition to cybersecurity at all. In fact, all of these roles, all of these programs here, by and large, if you are to make a successful transition, you will be landing the same salary rates. So the question is, for starters, why pay more? Why pay more for something when you don't have to? It just doesn't make sense. Ultimately, you're gonna have to pass one of these CompTIA exams, and that's what the industry actually recognizes. For the most of the industry, they're either gearing you to go ahead and pass either the A plus or the Network Plus or the Security Plus. We take it a few levels up, and we want to make sure that you're passing things like your Ethical Hacker, your Pen Test Plus, and then the newly released program that's going to be released February 17th, right after Valentine's Day, is going to be the Sec AI Plus. But all of these programs, generally, your brand name doesn't matter because all of the programs, all roads will lead to CompTIA. So it doesn't make sense for you to go ahead and pay more for something. There's divergence basically over there. In terms of like the overall in-person experience, I am going to go out there and tell you that there's a lot of similarities. Flatiron School is a $15,000, and these rates are subject to change. But generally speaking, as you could see from the rates, on average, on the low end, you're going to be spending about $9,000 to $10,000, upwards to $15,000, and then that in itself cripples a lot of people from being able to participate. The second problem that a lot of people have is even if you're able to afford this ticket, these full-time programs are actually focused, I would say probably like 3 to 4.5 months on kind of like a fast track basis, like 3 months full-time, part-time, 5 months. With Flatiron School, it's like 3.5 months full-time, part-time, 10.5 months. That is very long. And all of them focus basically on this side of the business, which is like, they're going to give you a bunch of cybersecurity theory, which I think you can absolutely watch on YouTube if you have like just the outline of what it is that you should review first. I think they're charging you a heavily inflated price. They focus a little bit of the job skills because they will have some labs. And then your certification, you basically have to take your test yourself. But there's a 61% first-time pass rate. That means you're expected to take the exam a few more times. And then on the career support side, you're basically just shit out of luck on your own. We don't run our program like that. We basically do the certification first, because let's get that thing out of the way, because that's your biggest bottleneck in getting a job. And we've already grabbed all of the questions basically for you for the A+, Network Plus, Security Plus, and Ethical Hacker. Rich, why are you doing this? Well, we need more cybersecurity professionals, and the way that we are training cybersecurity professionals right now is extremely freaking barbaric. It is dated, and it's ineffective, and it's taking us a lot of time. So all you got to go ahead and do is this first. While you're learning the on-the-job skills, we should be focusing on actually helping you pass the exam. Most people actually don't even realize what the exam is going to look like, and that's why so many people fail. There's almost a 50% first-time failure rate. So if we get you passing the exam first, and we can focus on, because once you pass this, you can go out there and get a paid internship. And once you can get a paid internship, it's going to make learning the theory flow in your head that much better, because you're able to go ahead and apply all the things that you've learned, which is going to make it so much easier for you to go ahead and get a job. So with our program, you basically can go ahead and start working in about 45 days. Because take a look at it. If you have all the questions and all the answers, and we gave you all the explanations why, these are actual screenshots from the real practice exam, and we've got like up to like 1,200 of them, there's really no reason why you're not able to go ahead and just secure your first paid internship, and then getting you moving into converting that internship into a full-time job, or getting you into a full-time job in the very first place. A lot of these other programs as well, what I've also noticed, beyond being extremely expensive and beyond being extremely lengthy, is they're also not taking into consideration that why are we not, like, we're giving you guys this out just as a gift. All you got to do is just come into our free WAP community here, and you basically can just add on, and then boom, you can just come through. But we offer our program also in person and also remotely, not for free, but we are here to train up as many people as possible. We're located on 30th and Broadway. We'd love to go ahead and talk to you soon. But these are just some of the programs that exist out here, and we would love for you to go ahead, check them all out. Go out there, definitely come into WAP because I'll have the full breakdown, and we have weekly events. Come on by. We'd love to go ahead and meet you and see how we can go ahead and get you transitioning over.